It's Monday, August 16th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, the country exploring a third vaccine option to fight COVID-19. Celebrations continue for our 400-meter gold champions. Coral reefs are under threat. And we've got an inside look on team teaching. So let's start the morning off right. But if you do it right once is enough. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Desmond Saunders. Welcome back. You're back.
Thank you so much. We're playing musical chairs.
I know, right?
A few weeks it was Jimmy and Fisher. Now it's myself and you here this morning.
And Fisher has 1 week off?
Yeah.
How was your vacation?
I had a pretty good time, Desmond. You have to actually go and see graping. See graping is awesome. Kidnapping, everything is plentiful. It's going to be a really good summer.
Where did you do all of this? In your hometown?
I stayed here.
Right
I'm kind of, concerned about the COVID cases everywhere. Okay. So I'm sure we all are concerned
about. So staying safe?
Yeah, I stayed.
That's the right thing to do.
I stayed put. So yeah. So how have you been?
It's been good. I had a great weekend. I had an opportunity to go to Goodman's Bay and swim and spend some time with family, and it's just amazing. It was just good. I had a good time.
And this weekend, it was raining a bit for the weekend, Friday, heading into Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of the rain and kind of protected myself from the elements, and we're going to see how it looks this week. So it should be pretty good.
And sadly, Haiti had another earthquake.
Yes, and we're monitoring that situation. So sad, and we still have some situations here with COVID. A lot going on in the news. So. Anyway, it's a whole lot of things. So
we've got a trivia this morning.
Yeah, we got to have a trivia question, and it's a gift certificate from Janae's. So let's look at the trivia. Name 3 Bahamian-born players to be drafted in the NFL. You have an idea?
I think I do, but I won't let the cat out the bag just yet. I think I do, yeah.
Okay. Well, you have an opportunity to call in, and I know the phones is going to be ringing in just a few minutes. So you got a big gift certificate from Janae's. So if you're lucky, school is about to start. So that's a good gift for some parents and students out there, right? Yeah. So what we're going to do is take you to the streets. Lloyd Allen, he's back in the grind of things. Traffic, morning traffic. Lloyd, what's happening?
Well, good morning, Desmond. Good morning, LaDawn, and good morning, Bahamas. A great start to the Monday morning. Of course, your first look at traffic coming in from the roundabout. This is at Blue Hill Road and Tonic Williams Darling Highway, or the East-West Highway, depending on the angle you're looking from. Again, we do want to remind persons of roadworks around the island in areas like Collins Avenue. Of course, we passed that area this morning. There seems to be a water main that would have broken, and so some extra water in that area, as well as some rain over the weekend. We're going to talk about wet conditions around the island. But first, we turn to our very faithful Corporal Patrick Kemp from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, giving us an update on traffic developments over the weekend period.
Good morning, Mr. Allen, and good morning, Bahamas. First, I just want to say how good, and it's a pleasure to be here this morning. There's a lot of positive vibes and energy, and I like to encourage those persons out there who are driving through the streets to use that positivity in doing things that's responsible. All right, you want to exercise using your signal, use your seatbelt. You want to use the horn where it's necessary. Give way to persons. Be your brother's keepers, right? And we can really tone down a lot of the unnecessary accidents that takes place through our streets. Within the last 24 hours, Mr. Allen, we have had some 10 accidents. We are still experiencing persons who are getting involved in these accidents on the streets, and they refuse to remain on scene. That is an offense, and you will find yourself before the courts for committing such offense. I'm just going to continue to encourage the drivers out there. If you find yourself in a situation where someone hits your vehicle and it appears as if they're not going to remain on scene, gather as much information as you can to forward it to us so that we can do a proper investigation and bring these persons before the court.
Now, of course, my director joked when I used the word spry this morning, but it is starting to spry. That's a word I use sometimes. the rain's coming down a bit. And so, of course, before we wrap up, I do want you to talk a little bit about how drivers can maneuver around wet conditions around the capital and around the country today.
But the thing about it is, because we have now entered into our rainy season, we're going to ask and encourage the persons to continue to drive with due care and attention. There's no need to drive excessively fast, especially on a wet road. When it comes down to you applying your brakes, especially if you have to do it suddenly, you'll find that you're going to find yourself in some problems trying to come to a complete stop in enough time to avoid a vehicle. So I'm going to ask persons to plan your route, drive within the speed limit, and again, be courteous, be your brother's keepers, persons through the street today.
All right, so a great update coming in there from Corporal Patrick Kemp from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division. That completes your Monday morning traffic report. And now we'll look at your Monday weather.
Thank you very much, Lloyd. Current conditions in Nassau, 82 degrees, partly sunny skies. And for our extended forecast, looking pretty good, but Tuesday, breezy, a morning shower. Wednesday, tropical storm in the morning, 89 degrees. Thursday, yeah, so good little week, a good little forecast. Thursday, Friday, tropical storm, grace ending, 90 degrees. And Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, partly sunny conditions and clouds and sun on Monday with 90 degrees.
As the rollout of the Pfizer vaccine begins today, the Bahamas' vaccination campaign is set to receive another major boost as health officials have revealed that the country will receive a third vaccine option to help combat a surge of COVID-19 cases. This as the National Vaccine Committee hopes to vaccinate over 60,000 persons over the next 6 weeks.
In this coming week, it will receive 34,400 doses of the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. With our current supplies and the vaccines that are in the pipeline, we now have an opportunity to significantly accelerate our vaccination program.
As of August 14th, more than 117,000 vaccination doses have been administered here in the Bahamas. 68,323 have received one jab, while 51,150 are fully vaccinated. Vaccines also proving more and more that they reduce the risk of hospitalizations and death. Between March 14th and July 31st, 2021, 400 of the 411 COVID-related cases in the Princess Margaret Hospital were unvaccinated. The other 11 were partially vaccinated. As for COVID deaths at PMH between that same period, 52 of the 53 individuals were unvaccinated. The remaining individual was partially vaccinated. No fully vaccinated persons were hospitalized or have died during that time. 107 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the Ministry of Health's latest release. 81 here in New Providence, 4 over in Grand Bahama, 1 in Eleuthera, and the other 21 locations are pending. The total count nationwide now sits at 16,537. 17 of the New Providence cases have a travel history in the past 14 days. 38 are male, the other 69 female. Hospitalizations stand at 134, 13 of them in the intensive care unit. 2,895 cases remain active. There have been 18 new recoveries, bringing that number to 13,204. The COVID-19 death toll is 313. The Bahamas government joining the Caribbean community in expressing sadness at the loss of life and significant damage following the 7.2 magnitude earthquake that struck Haiti on Saturday. The statement notes that the Bahamas stands ready to render whatever assistance possible. The diplomatic staff of the Bahamas Embassy was not in Haiti at the time of the earthquake, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has contacted the local staff of the embassy along with other Bahamians living there, and reports revealed that they are doing well. The country is still celebrating our Olympic gold medalists and 400-meter champions Shawnee Miller-Uibo and Stephen Gardner, the pair making a number of public appearances over the weekend, allowing residents to take their selfies and videos with the track and field superstars.
A little bit since we got back, but yeah, just to be able to celebrate with the young people and just to see how proud they are, it's a blessing, and just to be able to come back home and, like I said, be able to celebrate with them, it makes our hearts comfortable.
Crazy day today, but it's all worth it. I had practice at 8:30 this morning, and I had a few appearances to make, and I came to this lovely function with these great people.
We'll tell you what you need to know to help protect our coral reefs, so keep it locked.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit for a chance to win a brand new 2021 Toyota RAV4. Every spend gives you an instant entry to qualify. Shop online, at the gas station, or at any POS machine for your chance to win. Competition runs from now until August 31. Activate your power and win with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Approved under Section 61G of the Gaming Act 2014. Applicable to Bahamas only.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
That's why we got the...
For several months, rumors have been circulating over social media that vaccinated persons are contracting the coronavirus days after getting the jab, while top local pediatrician Dr. Carlos Thomas making it clear that it's highly unlikely for this to happen and gave these reasons to back up his claims.
Quite possible that you may have been incubating COVID-19 before you got the vaccine. So the folks who seem to have come down with COVID-19 subsequent to the vaccine is not because of the vaccine, it's despite having the vaccine. And as you are aware, you're fully immunized when you've had 2 doses, and the second one being 2 weeks or greater.
Dr. Thomas also revealed that quite a number of his patients have tested positive for the virus, but fortunately have fared well, with only one being admitted to hospital.
I got 3 phone calls yesterday about positive patients. Fortunately, most of them either have very few symptoms or some have no symptoms at all. They were tested because they were in contact with someone who's positive. So it's very important that even if you as an individual can get COVID-19 and recover, you can potentially infect people around you, those who are close to you, those you love, those you should care about, your older family members, those who are sick. So it's incumbent on everyone to get involved. And we're hoping that these kind of forum will help people to move over from being on the fence to getting the vaccines.
Well, here's an interesting story for you this morning. A leading marine conservationist calling on Bahamians everywhere to protect and preserve our coral reefs.
Coral reefs are made up of colonies of hundreds of thousands of tiny individual corals, providing an important ecosystem for marine life. They protect coastlines from storms and erosion, and over 500 million people depend on reefs for food, income, and protection. But according to program assistant with the Perry Institute for Marine Science, these important marine habitats are under a growing threat.
When people take their boats or scuba dive or snorkel in different locations and they don't clean the bilge water, they don't clean their gear, or they don't wash their wetsuits properly, we've been finding that this coral COVID, or the stony coral tissue loss disease, has actually been like wiping out coral in these areas. Coastal development is one of the major threats that we find to coral reefs in any marine habitat, simply because here in the Bahamas we are limestone rock, and you run the risk of eroding that rock and putting more debris into the water, which can then cause the coral reef not to survive.
Coral reefs play a major role in the nation's economy, and the continued health of the coral reef is key to the nation's survival. The program assistant is calling on all Bahamians to do their part in protecting and preserving this marine habitat.
I think it's very important for Bahamians and people to be aware of the coral reef that we have in the ocean, to kind of talk about these things and show how important they are to our government and to their neighboring communities, so that we can take the action that we need to take to protect them. Be mindful of the things that you let get into the ocean, like plastic pollution, any sorts of marine debris, and even chemicals. You want to be mindful of the type of water that's running off into our oceans as well.
Coral reefs are an important resource to our environment, so let's protect it.
LaDon, so I had a good time hanging out with those great people at the Perry Institute for Marine Science. Is a very important issue that all of us should be concerned about.
And you know, I have a lot of things on my to-do list. I want to go scuba diving. I want to go swimming with the sharks. Have you done that before?
Let's do it. Let's do it this weekend if the weather holds up.
Yeah,
let's get in the water.
We may want to try that challenge. We may want to do that.
And we could also bring Vince and the whole gang from here.
And I guess they'll go swimming.
Yeah,
you think she could swim?
She likes those shit. She's can swim.
I don't know, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
You'll have to see.
A silver lining rising from the ashes of Hurricane Dorian. Last week we told you about concerns of the Bahamian pine in 2 of the 4 pine islands of this country. In Abaco, more than 40,000 acres, and in East Grand Bahama, more than 70,000 acres of a once flourishing pine ecosystem decimated by Hurricane Dorian in 2019, with experts unsure of future regrowth. Forestry Director Christopher Russell says possible salvaging is on the horizon for the wood left behind from these trees.
We have had approval from government for companies to go in there and salvage the pines on Abaco and Grand Bahama. So there's a process for that to happen. There's licenses, there's legal issues, and so on. We're working with companies now to make sure they comply with all the environmental laws. You know, we have some new laws now that requires environmental impact assessment studies and environmental baseline studies and mitigation plans and assessment plans, management plans. So this is what is being worked on now by those companies so that they meet the requirements of law to actually go into the forest and extract the materials.
Russell notes sometime before the end of the year this process is expected to take place. We also inquired who not immediately, and he gave this response.
They have to have management plans as to how you're going to go in and do your extraction, with mitigation measures you're going to put in place to ensure that there are no forest fires when you go in there with tractors and so on. How do you mitigate those sort of activities? How are you going to prevent polluting the groundwater resources with equipment going into the forest and so on and so forth? So that's what they're working on now, the environmental management plans, which will help them properly manage the extraction exercises for both of the islands.
Lloyd always gets the good stories.
Oh, very important issue as well. And he has a series of stories on this very issue. So we're going to watch that and look at it this whole week.
All right, and as we head to the break, we take a look back at the day in Bahamian history. On August 16, 1945, legendary Bahamian musician Leroy Cleveland McKenzie, better known as Smokey 007, was born right here in Nassau. Also on August 16, 2001, Tommy Turnquest was voted leader of the Free National Movement.
You are a healthcare worker. Thank you for fighting on the front lines against COVID-19. It is normal to feel stressed when taking care of others who don't feel well. But remember to take care of yourself. Don't forget to rest between shifts, eat healthy meals, engage in physical activity, and stay connected to family and friends. Avoid harmful coping strategies like drinking alcohol. For managers of healthcare workers, the same tips apply to you. Here's how you can help. Consistently give updates. Rotate staff between high and low stress level functions. Encourage work breaks and ensure that they know where they can find help. We are here for you.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
National soccer team has a new head coach, and she's no stranger to the sport. Former national team member Shalindria Thompson has been selected to lead the team's revitalization.
I don't want the program to just be for national competitions. The program has to continue to grow, continue to develop, and to continue to move forward. So it's just longevity and producing quality athletes, quality soccer players.
Well, the future of water polo in this country is looking bright thanks to the development of younger players.
Children very early to swim, then we do the stroke technique with them, we enter them to the competitive swimmers, and as you can see behind me, by the age when they hit around 10 years old, 9 years old, the latest 12 years old, we introduce water polo for them. So behind me is a team in training that try to enter to their first 12 and under water polo competition, and it's a mix of girls and boys, 6 girls and 6 boys, so now we're definitely developing a female side as well.
Well, there's more to come. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Princess Margaret Hospital's dialysis unit has implemented enhanced COVID-19 prevention protocols to ensure the safety and health of patients and healthcare staff. Patients are required to wash their hands upon entering the dialysis unit before and after using the bathroom and after treatment. Patients are asked to sanitize their hands in between treatment and as necessary. Staff and patients are required to wear face masks at all times while in the dialysis unit. All shoes should be removed once seated for treatment and placed on the floor beside you. Shoes may be worn again after treatment and in preparation to leave the unit. Patients are asked to bring a pair of socks to be worn during treatment. Patients who prefer to leave their shoes on during treatment must place a shoe cover over their shoes prior to commencing treatment. At no time should patients place the bottom of their shoes on the chair or footrest in the unit. Members of the public are encouraged to follow all health advisories, public service announcements, and updates regarding health and hospital services for important information. This message has been brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority.
The medical technologists, with the help of lab aides and phlebotomists, test all bodily fluids to provide results. Without this group of professionals, the physicians, surgeons, and nurses will be handicapped in the management of their patients. Our test results clearly indicates if you suffer from any kind of disease or illness, be it cancer, diabetes, AIDS, or even the flu. It is important to note that even while you are asleep, we're testing. While you're in isolation, we're testing. While you are in lockdown, we are testing. BAMAT wishes you to remember that medical technologists, phlebotomists, medical technicians, cytologists, cytotechnicians, histologists, histotechnicians, microbiologists, pathologists, and lab aides all work as a team to get results for you. So please, stay home for us. This announcement is brought to you by the Bahamas Association of Medical Technologists in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
What I love most about working for the Bahamas tonight is that we don't only focus on New Providence. We cover the entire Bahamas. We have a team here in the northern Bahamas that is ready to bring you the stories, the people, and the news that matter to you. From point A to Z, from covering hurricanes to elections and everything in between.
Teaching is a new concept that's proving to be vital in hybrid learning. Lloyd Allen talks to an educator who has taken the concept and transformed it into something students can learn in living color.
Team teaching or co-teaching is a concept which has taken hold in recent years to assist in the overall effort of educating youngsters. Based on its definition, there are a number of roles beginning with the lead teacher, who gives the majority of instructions, followed by a support instructor who assists with various tools like handouts, slideshows, or even engaging students with questions. This instructor also circulates the room and assists students where needed. This teacher may also assist in identifying students who may be lagging or in need of additional support. This opens the door for an alternative setting where another teacher may take on a smaller group of students needing special care. Junior high instructor Zordella Mulling says team teaching was a struggle at first, but mastering this technique was a desire she had since she was in the classroom as a student.
Growing up, I always wanted a different approach when I looked at the way, when I was in school, the way lessons were delivered to me.
Mulling says YouTube assisted her in better understanding the concept and finding her niche.
I was able to watch lessons and I was like, I really enjoyed or was captivated by some of the apps the other teachers in the U.S. were doing.
She says through continued research, she was able to transform her lessons, making them more student-centered and colorful. Science lessons with Miss Mullings now naturally involves real experiences like visiting the abattoir for actual organs or the dock for fish or conch body parts.
I actually wanted to bring these organisms or specimens that the students see in the book and actually introduce it into my lessons. Even when it comes to the queen conch, the spiny lobster, the Nassau grouper, I bring specimens in for the actual students to dissect, touch.
Mulling says these efforts have evolved beyond the classroom, even helping to re-educate some in the community.
So I come over here to Mr. Miller, and like I said, he is very good. Me and him have a lot of conversations about the parts of the queen conch. And of course, it's a teachable moment for him and I.
Today's lesson, the queen conch.
Here it is. Like this is a feet.
Right.
We call it the horn.
Right, and scientifically, this is what we call the operculum.
Okay, that's different names that she described to us because it's education to young folks, to young children, to know exactly all about the conch.
Mulling says she hopes her efforts will assist others in the profession to get out and experience learning and teaching in new ways.
Students learn better by doing, not by just reading. So I feel as if we find some ways within our lessons to bring the real world into the classroom, it would make a greater difference.
Desmond, did you know conchs crawl? You didn't know conchs crawl? They crawl from one area to the next, and in the grassy area.
I know.
See, I have to teach you a little thing or two, you gotta get to.
But a very good story, an interesting concept. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
And so we also have a winner.
We have a winner, yeah. School is about to start, and so this gift, $50 gift certificate. I don't think it's a $50 gift certificate. Good gift certificate from Janae's, and the winners are Ed Smith, Devar Darling, Mike Strawn, who are the three Bahamians drafted into the NFL. Ed Smith, Devar Darling, and Mike Strawn. And our winner, Lucille, she's a happy, lucky person today.
I am sure she is, because school is about to open in about 2 weeks, perhaps. So I'm sure that's going to help her a great deal when school opens.
Well, it's been a great show.
It's also been. We're going to be here for another few more days.
And it's been good hanging out with you this morning.
Same here, Desmond. And be sure to stay tuned to the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition and the Bahamas tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire team,
I'm Desmond.
Have a great morning, everyone.
What the hell? You think I explain it?